A friend of mine, she went to New Orleans. She wrote a blog about it, and I'm looking at the pictures, and it was about the same time the Spike Lee show came out, about when the levees break. And the funny thing about that is, I just left the National Poetry Slam, and as I was getting on my plane, or going to my plane, the team from New Orleans was going to that plane. So, we was all like, hey fam, have a safe trip, we'll see you next year and all that other good stuff. So, a couple weeks later, Katrina hit. And I'm trying to call my people, just trying to find out where everybody is or whatever. Nothing happened. And then I saw my friend's blog a couple years later, because I was never ever to write, couldn't get the words to come out to write the poem about it. And then I saw my friend's blog, and she had these pictures and images, and I was just like, wow. So I started writing a poem, and the poem just came to me so much that I was trying to, anybody ever have a poem that just wouldn't let you sleep?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
See, this is a poem that would not let me sleep no matter what. I was, I'm on Benadryl and all that other stuff, poem like, nah, get up, you ain't going to sleep. So, this is called X is the Unknown Variable. I keep New Orleans' ninth ward, and the water stain remains in my soul. I hear the cries of the people seep into my ear like a Bourbon Street jazz note carried by the last gust of Katrina's breath, to remind me of those who had to find an inner Jesus by learning how to walk on water to escape death. But for them, there would be no water turned to wine, no fishes, no loaves, just a huddled mass inside a Superdome waiting for a White House Jesus to look from the east and look to the west and help his people, to raise his staff, to push back the waters, to resurrect those who are now numbers with lost names. X is the unknown variable for the lost generations of lives that died outside of a convention center or were consumed within the murky waters the day the levees. And helpful science marks the spot where rooftop refugees waited. And waited. And waited. To become evacuees from the places they once called home. They survived the heat and the water. They watched as the corpses of neighbors, strangers, and loved ones floated upon the waves. They gave prayers to the Creator from rooftop chapels because every day that they survived was reason enough on that day to have a Sunday morning service. And they hoped that the Creator heard the words and hadn't become a politician and forgot about them too. And it's those same politicians that get on TV screens telling that New Orleans will be rebuilt. What they don't tell you is that it's going to be rebuilt over some Ninth Ward evacuee slice of the American dream by Halliburton machines. Come on. But how do you rebuild a people's soul when the neighborhoods are as empty as governmental promises and as hollow as governmental apologies? I'm sorry was never spelled F-E-M-A, and it wasn't in Middle Eastern sands where they have American troops fighting over oil, but it is a weapon of mass destruction used by governmental terrorists to keep the people looking for the truth within the lies. As the mayor points a finger at the governor, and the governor points a finger at the president, and the president points a finger at the political crony who had no business being in office in the first damn place. But shh, don't tell nobody. Now, this is the part of the poem I'm supposed to digress and tell you that New Orleans was reborn when the Saints were marching back into the Superdome. But I'll be damned if anyone from the Ninth Ward was standing in them stands, clapping their hands. Unless it was the ghost of those who died in Superdome hallways coming back to see what it's like to have food and water. Because most of those from the Ninth Ward now live in different area codes. They were all told to get in on buses, they just weren't told they were going in different directions. Now Big Mama lives in Texas. She got a daughter living in Florida and a son living in Utah. And they're holding Sunday dinners over phone line and holding prayer vigils for family members that they have yet to find. And all this makes me wonder, which bullet from the east made that butterfly flap its wings, sending the winds of change in the western direction? And how many right before they died added their own tears to the rising water while praying their hopes and dreams knew how to swim? And then again, maybe it wasn't Katrina that brought their words to me. Maybe it was them, rising up one last time and combining their voices so that we poets, musicians, writers, just everyday people will keep telling these Ninth Ward stories. Because news cameras no longer pan in their direction, and news reporters, they only want to write about the new Orleans instead of the one that drowned August 29, 2005. They ask us, they plead us, they beg us to keep telling these Ninth Ward stories. Because if we don't, who the fuck is going to remember them?
That's right.